conversation is the issue that I think if you look at Pillar 2, it is very clear that we wanted to stop gender-based violence before it happens. The issue of the pandemic. And I think it is in our hands that we can do that. And it begins with individuals. So I think that is very important. I would like to call upon General Molalo to come and give a message of support for the men's dialogue. General, over to you.
Okay, came from steps, General Mulawa from our regional commissioner.
Oh, I thought it was again.
Ke leboga motsamaisi tiro ke le dumedisa lotlhe ba lefa na ke Major General Molawa, the district commissioner ka Mojere Molema, but ke tlile mo on behalf of the provincial commissioner of the Northwest Province, Lieutenant General Silokwena. Greetings to our Director General Me Maluleke, seruti sa rona se se leng fa le bagolo botlhe bo mma rona le bo ntate ba ba fa le bašwa ke a le dumedisa in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ, amen. If ke ne ke emetse office ya ka, I would speak from my heart, but because ke tshwere mandate wa my principal, the provincial commissioner, o nneile molaetsa o ke tshwantseng ke tle go deliver. Molaetsa wa ga General Kwena one o tsamaya jana. Program Director, the Executive Mayor of Ditsobotla Local Municipality, Councillor Mercy Mokhotu, all senior officials from all government departments, in particular our host departments of women, youth and persons with disabilities, representatives of all different main organizations present here, members of the media, distinguished guests, le bana ba rona. Bagaetsho dumelang, good morning, goeie môre. It is indeed a great pleasure to me to be with you here, if I were to be here, for the closure of the 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children campaign. It is well known at this stage that the 16 days of activism is a worldwide campaign to oppose violence against women and children, and that it aims to raise awareness of the negative impact that domestic violence as well as gender-based violence have on women and children, and to some extent to men. We are doing this in an endeavor to permanently rid society of any form of abuse. It is our responsibility as the police to ensure a safe and secure environment for the inhabitants of the Republic. With this in mind, it is extremely important that we must continuously work in partnership with all communities in order to achieve this, amongst others, through public education as part of proactive measures to prevent crime, including domestic and gender-based violence. Ladies and gentlemen, there are still some places in the province where we still have the prevalence of crimes that emanate from domestic violence-related incidents. We are saddened by incidents of domestic violence wherein children are affected. Some of the children become orphans, while others are killed due to domestic violence-related scourge. We are also dealing with cases in which children are sexually assaulted by unknown men. What is disturbing is that in some instances, children are raped by their grandfathers, uncles, and their own fathers, stepfathers, and other relatives, while wives are being assaulted by their very own husbands who once vowed to protect them. On the 3rd November 2022, a 38-year-old man was apprehended in Lumanyaneng for the alleged murder of his 33-year-old girlfriend that was stabbed in her upper body. Program Director, the fight against domestic violence and children abuse amongst the community has become increasingly tougher because these crimes are most committed behind closed doors where children and women are supposed to be protected. The well-being of our communities is important to us, and that can only be realized if we continue to have a strong partnership with the broader society, as crime prevention cannot be left to the police alone. We have no doubt that a strong relationship with you as a community would prove to be a great advantage in dealing not only with crime, but also its generators like liquor and moral degeneration. It is time that parents should take their rightful positions in society and speak about the social ills we see every day. It is also imperative that we acquaint our communities with important facts about domestic violence and abuse and child abuse so that they can identify the symptoms and high-risk behaviors that indicates the abuse and report them to the police. The South African Police Service in this province will continue to ensure that all offenders of crime are brought to justice to face the full might of the law. As an example, the Provincial Commissioner would want to mention that on the 4th of October 2022, the Mmabatho High Court sentenced Tumisang Sisingi, who is 28 years of age, to 4 life imprisonment for rape. The accused targeted college at the local TVET female students aged between 19 and 26 years of age at Dinukana in Lihurutsi. The incidents occurred between 2012 and 2018. In another unrelated incident, Bafana Johannes Mans, who is 26 years of age, was sentenced to 3 life imprisonment on the 19th of October 2022 for the kidnapping, double rape, and murder of a 4-year-old child on the 16th of May in 2021 in Khomotso, that is in Taung village. We are saying that those incidents that cannot be prevented and are reported at police stations, we will also ensure that as part of empowering victims and turning them into survivors, we treat them fairly with respect for their dignity, their privacy, and in a sensitive manner. This is also in line with the ministerial 6-point plan, which aims to promote and protect the rights of women, children, and vulnerable groups, which, amongst others, emphasizes victim-friendly rooms at our police stations that must be used effectively. It is a critical part of policing that we should work together with the community policing forums, that is our CPFs, and other relevant stakeholders to ensure that our communities are safe The Provincial Commissioner also said he would like to urge every member of the community to be our ears and eyes as police. Let us not look away and pretend not to be hearing when we hear the screams of a woman or children. When we hear the screams of women and children living next to us, do whatever possible to assist, even if it means just making a call to the police. There are many things that one can do to contribute positively towards the fight against domestic violence and gender-based violence. Few of them is breaking the cycle of violence and act by getting help or providing help. Breaking the silence by speaking about abuse. Knowing your rights and not looking away. In conclusion, as the police, we are saying that women and children must be able to walk in the streets, but still feel safe. They should be walking through their houses, front doors without fear of being assaulted and raped by the very people they love and trust. Ke a leboga. Thank you. Thank you.
Releboga General Mulawa, what kind of interventions if including maphodisa mo gare ga di discussions especially around issues of gender-based violence, because remember maphodisa ke bona our implementers in our communities, and a general a critical issue relating to partnerships, to say that as maphodisa, maybe as government as well, we cannot do anything, or we cannot come up with a solution and claim or a solution a community-wide. Modarsa include other sectors like your men as well as your general population or general community. So it's important really for us towards ending gender-based violence. But also generally it's important for us to keep on looking at statistics just to remind ourselves, as community, are we making any progress? Or maybe I want to more the interventions. So it's important for us to keep on reminding ourselves on that front. But also, let's come back like South Africa language, the Pulelo 11. So, Aratonella or more saying, but we complain about no really a language barrier, because our program director was speaking a closer or so or so we need to be clear in terms of communication, because message or tlangaona important such that ro grasp struggle like issue, or you now need to translate from English to Setswana. You know, it's maybe or so you can be able to understand the issues. So just the third person to give us the message of support, Kentate Jabulani Chabalala. Labona South Africa and 11 languages. Kimuzulu, Mtuaskabali Aligaul Ropa, Arkena Mutswana, Kimuzulu as they come. So Kechabalala, Kwazula, Marotula Mudi, that's what I know. So message of support that.
Thanks a lot, Ntate Mutiba. Dumelamba Holo. Kali nna ke nna Jabulani Chabalala ne ke bereka le organization e bitswang Kgodisana Youth Empowering Foundation. Greetings to you, DG, all the speakers, dignitaries, all protocol observed. Ya nomba holo kam kholo ke tlhekefetso ya basadi le banna ka nako nngwe, right? And furthermore, the LGBTQI community, they are also suffering in the hands of backward community members. So, HDG atlile beremo kopa gore no ka re bona rona mo magaeng gore yes, there is awareness, ra e bona mo TV, ra e utlwa mo radio, mare ha rena di platform tse re kgonang gore re kopane yana re bue ka dikgang tsa rona a ke re bagolo. So yaanong platform ke eo DG we appreciate a lot from the government side, private sector, the awareness that is being made. Everybody knows about GBV now. You open the TV, the radio, the conversation is there. The fight against GBV is being taken forward, and it's been taken forward for quite a while. And we appreciate that. But as Mr. Motiba has indicated, as Mr. Mashobane has indicated, it's about time now we end GBV. And speaking for young people, I'm speaking from a position of disappointment, not from the awareness, not from the government, but from us as the society and the young people. Mo magaeng, ba ba tlhagang ko magaeng, they can attest gore bašwa ba rona, especially ba bashimane, ba abusa ha ba tagilwe. Dilo tsa bosigo tse re di bonang bana ba betsa bana ba bangwe ha ba sena go tagwa, it's not nice. And it takes me back to the issue, DG, ya gore yes, there is awareness about gender-based violence, but how do we work towards ending it if our very own young people are abusing? We are going for a doomed future, because if ngwana wa 17 years old ha sena tagwa aba betsa ngwana wa 15 years old ka gore ba le go bojalweng, are we really fighting against GBV? Is the awareness enough? What is the society doing? What are the communities doing? Wena o bona mmata gago a betsa girlfriend ya gago, wa re wena goreng o didimala? King o sa e go bolella mapodisa, king o sa reporte motho, king o sa bolelle bagolo, king o sa bolelle CPF, king o sa bui ha o bona mmata gago a betsa ngwana o mongwe. La e se mmata gago ha o ile go di-taverneng, we condemn that. We don't want young people to go to the taverns, but the reality of the matter is they go. Ha o bona batho ba betsana go taverneng ile moshimana a betsa ngwana, o le ngwana le wena king o sa report kganyeo, because it's not like ha re ba itse batho ba ba abusang bagolo. Ra ba itse batho ba ba abusang, ra ba bona, but what are we doing to end that? Le borre ba ba tlhokefediwang ko magaeng a bone la ba itse ha se gore ha re ba itse. The awareness about gender-based violence, the fight against it has been ongoing. It's actively ongoing, and the efforts are appreciated. Ra di bona mo TV ha se ra re di bone, mara gore re fetse tlhokefetso ya basadi le bana le borre and the LGBTQI community. What is it that we are doing to end it? Because nna se ke se bonang ke gore go na le awareness ya go lwantsha GBV, mara on the other hand abuse ya tswella ebile e tlile go baneng. What are we doing as the society bagolo? What are we doing? Re akanya mo buile are it starts with me. Ha o bona motho a abusa motho mong, founela mapodisi. Ha o sena airtime o tshaba ya go CPF. Ha CPF e sa kgone, bolella bagolo, somebody else needs to do something. A re ska tlogelang abuse, re sheba ka matlo a rona e tswella re sa e emisi. Bagolo pampiri e ha le sheba e ke kwetsu ka ha morago, enough is enough. Bagolo, enough is enough. Re ka se kgone go tswella go na le tshotlakako e kana-kana re bona re sa dire sepe. A rona re direng sengwe, ha bana ba abusana a re bueng, ha re bona mongwe a abusiwa a re bueng. Lona bana ha le bona ditsala tsa lona di sena ditagwa be di abusa di girlfriend tsa bone, a re bueng. Ke tla ke le ko organization e go teng go disana Youth Empowering Foundation, re bereka go leka go tshentsha matshelo a bašwa ko metseng le ko magaeng le ko di township, and then re leka gore re tlise information and opportunities closer to them. Re ira di program tse di differang gore le re kry-e le tla re bona mo Facebook go disana Youth Empowering Foundation,
gender-based violence. So ra lebogang Ntate Tshabalala ka your words, and then ke sure batho ba kwile gore na how can they get you as a Godisanang youth forum so that ba ka tseba ka di programs tse le di dirang in your community. Now bagolo re tlo tsena mo segmenting ya go e re fang banna a chance to can converse, a chance to can talk about issues tse le re bona ka re they are driving factors ke di tlhotlheletši mo the issues tša gender-based violence. So more re bolela ka di issues tse le goreng di among things like what is the role of men and boys in ending gender-based violence. Re bolela ka dilo tša issues tša banna le religion influencer bjang banna gore ba end gender-based violence or ba tlhotlheletše, because sometimes we know gore it can go towards the negative. Re bolela ka di issues tše di amanang le banna le culture. Na culture ya Setswana e tlhotlheletša gender-based violence or maybe a fediša na. We need to look at those kind of things. And then re lebelela ka di issues tša banna le maintenance.
Mare re focuseng mo se ba se buileng. Sorry. Okay. O teng Ntate Tshabalala. E bitse yena bana. Okay. Hey, what's ke di step wa ka re bo mme ba teng man. Mare ba sharp support ka buang sepe bo mme a kere re kopa lona fana ga le itholele le retse fela, and then e be le ithuta e be le change ga le re ntse le abuse ba le tlogela dilo tseo a kere re tlo kopa
ntate a ke re ke letsatsi la bontate wa tlo buang ka ke batla go bua ka Setswana ya gana man role e se kwase le so role ya bontate le yena ke ntate Jabu Baloi ke na tlo tsamaisang puisano ga se workshop ga se ke bitseng ga se workshop ga se meeting ke dialogue ke dipuisano fela gore na rona re le banna re bona violence e kana against basadi le bana gore e ka fedisiwa yang ke se go re sa ntla o itse gore ke se se dirileng gore o betse motho wa mosadi ka tlapa o no mo ragela eng ke eng se o ka se dirang gore o tswe mo mekgweng eo mare o tla re fa direction ntate Jabu ara ha ba ditshipi
I think there's an echo with the mic. And the reason why I wanted to come down here, it's symbolic. And greetings, DG in absentia, fellow speakers, program directors, my colleagues, my friends, my special people with disability, pastors, whom at times I've got issues with them. I'll tell you why I have got a serious issue with pastors. I greet all of you, and I see my former colleague. Colleagues, normally we address gender-based violence and femicide from the echelons of power. We don't come down to the people where people are so that we can understand issues. Hence, I'm saying it's symbolic. One of the speakers and the program director said, gender-based violence, it's not only the duty of men or the duty of women to address and help to scale. Gender-based violence, on the second day of the summit, the president has declared it the first pandemic because we do not have corona anymore. And it is us men, we abuse you women. It is us men who at times do not understand. I always tell men, you don't have to understand a woman. You just love her because you will never understand a woman. At times as men, women who are sitting here, I'm giving this message today for free. Treat us like children as men. Because when you have got a small baby, have you seen your partner, your boyfriend, your husband, how they behave around you? We are jealous of the small child. We are fighting for attention also. Men are also afraid. Some men abuse because of socialization. Let us deal with that thing. This issue that, you know, I've coming from the mountains, like the Xhosa speaking people, the Shangans, the vendors, the people from Kwandebele, it is wrong. They teach us wrong things, and we come back and harass the people that gave birth to us. How do you beat your own mother? A woman is an example of your own mother. And I'm not surprised that the DG came here today, because she's one of the most accessible DGs. And I knew when I was told that, you know, she's going to address this issue, that we had to come and cancel everything. Because men of Itsuse, you are sitting here today, the statistics in Northwest are very high in teenage pregnancy. Some of you have impregnated those small girls. Imagine a man at my age as a man saying I've got a girlfriend, referring to a 10-year-old child. That is statutory rape. It is not gender-based violence until it happens to you. Pastors also, they've run churches. Churches are mushrooming. You'll find tomorrow there's a church. As long as I tithe and offer, pastors will keep quiet about the abuse that I'm doing at home. And it is wrong for the pastors not to follow what the Bible says. A lot of men who abuse women are in the church. And the church is silent about gender-based violence. They'll tell you about the tithe, they'll tell you about the offering, they'll tell you about the work of Christ. But they don't talk about gender-based violence. It is incumbent in Itusen and around that the pastors forum that deals with gender-based violence, all of us, and you ladies sitting here, when a man, Lebuhang, or anyone, Manda, or anyone, Charlotte, myself, someone said, he has raped me, do not say, we know this lady is a slut. She's not a slut, she's never slept with you. Support her, be there for that woman until you find the truth. Because at times as men we're uncanny. A man will deny everything, my sister, even if you find him naked. He will say, it's not me, it's the devil. It is us men who are making things very difficult for ladies. Some men, because women have got an agency, we are afraid to discuss and debate with you. I come back home late as a man, I blame it on my friend. I'll say it's Charlene. I don't take responsibility and accountability for me coming late. You hate Charlene for no apparent reason. As men, when we're sitting here, when women argue with us, do like the Shangans do. Put water in your mouth, don't talk. Walk away, come back home when you're quiet. Men who are sitting here, I call you ambassadors and men of change. You came here because I know you don't abuse. You wouldn't have been here had you been abusing. You knew the topic which was going to be spoken about. You are here today. And I applaud you. I say big up to you, but you have got friends who are, when they are drunk, they beat their wives, they insult their kids. Gentlemen, gender-based violence is not about physical abuse only. It can be emotional, it can be psychological, it can be financial. Because you are working when you come back early hours. Today you are going to lie, some of you, saying that, DG of women, youth and person with disability called you, you're going to go back home on Sunday. We're still in a men's dialogue. It can't be. Be the version of yourself, the better person that you want to be. You cannot want to be a man because, you are entitled to be a manhood. Some of us, they call us, it's a man because he's wearing a trouser. But when you look at the flip side of it, we don't behave anything like a man. A man is a leader. A man has got authority. One of the social workers told me today, a woman will only submit to a woman will submit to a man who is respectful, who communicates. And ladies, men also need peace in the houses. A man needs 3 things only, except peace. They need to be communicated all. They need to be respected. They need sex. That's all. And everything will be added unto you. Treat a man like a child at times and try to see if it won't change. Shouting, ladies, doesn't bear fruits. Talk sensibly. Don't follow a man where the friends are and start insulting him. Because they might react differently. Men, culturally and socialization, we are weak. Women are strong. Men who are sitting here, towards conclusion, do you know that a woman can wake up 3 times at night and ask herself, why did I marry this thing? We are at the mercy of women, yet we abuse them. They can give us poison, so simple. Slow poison, you die, you're gone. Do not lift a hand on a woman. Some of you might have faced violence. All of us, we have seen violence in our families. But we don't beat our partners. We respect them. We talk sensibly. Any family where there's peace, there's prosperity. Be that candlelight of your family. Break the generational curse. The pastor sitting here can tell you, should you not stop the gender-based violence that you saw your mother and your grandmother suffering, it will never stop. When you rape as a man, remember tomorrow you'll give birth to a girl child. Imagine at my 60s or 50s, I am with your daughter who's 9 or 12. What will you say? That will be karma. Also, men, let us guard our tongues. The things that we say as men to our partners. You say wrong things, but at night, you start, because you have got an appetite for sex, you start saying good things. It is wrong. Women did not react like us men because with us, we want to have sexual intercourse and sleep. But women have got emotions attached to everything that they do. And men, let us have positive gossip amongst ourselves. That gossip that says, let us respect the people that we are married to. Why when you are dating, you love one another, you will even accompany one another to somebody's gate and come back until sunset? Because of the love. Where that love has gone to. If you see, my kids will never be abused because I've empowered them. I even told their boyfriends and the husband to say, should you lift a hand? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and this time it will be me. No one will ever beat my child. I am telling you, even my aunt, it will never happen. They know. It will never. We are protectors of women. And stop calling them our women. They're not our women. We are not entitled to their bodies. When a woman says no as a man, it is no. Do not keep on harassing her and forcing her. If she doesn't want to talk to you, she doesn't want to talk to you. If she said, you know, I've got a headache, believe her, she's got a headache. Be a responsible man inside the household. Help out. Do not teach your boys to go and play football without going to the kitchen. And women, stop buying us blue colors when we are born as men. You are giving us gender roles at a young age. My sons used to refuse to wear pink. And I said, hell no, not here. And I sat down and explained to them. Because when you give gender roles, you are saying that, you know, men are entitled. And a man at times uses the Bible wrongly, my sister, to say that we're the head of family, the Bible says so. But the head cannot function without the neck. Behind every successful man, there's a woman. In conclusion, men, let us learn to love ourselves. You know, I always use this analogy. You know, smokers, when they're smoking, they know one another. They respect one another. A smoker can come with a small cigarette, and he will even ask the other one to give him a bigger cigarette, and then he will give him a matches. Why can't we do the same as men and talk positive to one another? Do you know people who drinks alcohol in a shebeen, they go and urinate at one place? Why is so? Why can't we do it in fighting gender-based violence? Should we do that? I am telling you, Itsuseng and South Africa will be the better version of itself. We will never hear about small girls some are being impregnated by teachers. That is a fact. Some is elderly men, politicians, police officers harassing others. It happens. But what do? We need to work with the police. We need to work with government. We need to work with private. It doesn't help to blame each other that this one is not. And I'm glad that the institution that called the women ministry, that when we come here, we must come back again. I've got my colleagues here. They've studied law. They understand these issues. We can talk. Should the police not help you? The Gender Commission is there. We're always on UFM, Muteding FM, Lisedi FM, so that you get assistance. You cannot die inside. Yet, men in majority, to be on your side, you commit suicide because they said men doesn't cry. Learn to cry as a man. Tell your brother, I love you and I miss you. Giving a hug to a fellow man doesn't mean you are gay or lesbian. It just goes to show a feminine side, all of us. We have got the children in all of us. When we are sitting down, we are remorseful as men. So be the change that you want to see. The betterment of self, as a man sitting here from Israel, begins with you. I won't come from Guyana and talk to you to say, change. You know yourself, you need to change. You know how you need to talk to a child. Even your child, you must love them. Some of you have never been given hugs. You don't even give to your boy child or girl child. You just said, when I sukam, you don't even know where the grades are as men. You know, some of you don't even test for HIV/AIDS. As long as your wife, your partner tests, you are healthy. It's not the case. We can end gender-based violence. Let's stop drinking excessively. Let us stop using our tongues to abuse women. South Africa can be a better country. If the president doesn't sleep because of ESCOM, I don't sleep because of gender-based violence, and because of you men who are sitting here today. When they say we are trash, I am trash too. I feel for you and you must feel for me. We must work together to eradicate the scourge of gender-based violence. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Going back to our facilitator, but we just want to apologize to our people. The water will be coming. Our service provider is late. You can see that we're being veiled by the service provider, but the water will be here, food will be here. People should be patient. We really, really apologize.
Le prefera re dirise le le feng. Sorry? Re bue. Maragre Arutwane le ska la rasa man la idiste palon. Okay. That's why. Can you say, hey, had the Araska rasa rutwane ra accept ra dumela ra mogela gore mo di buing tse di lemno gona le ba iseng Batswana so gore motho a khone a ge sentle o disaita gore a tloge melaga Setswana bogolo a so kopa gore le ga motho a bule a presentile ka Sekgowa re ska mo blame ka gore o ne a leka go accommodate rona ba re sa utlweng le melagane ya tlhaloganyetsega kere now I'm sure you utlwile presentation ya ga ntate ga na le mo pele mo ya Brajabu ke tlo mitsa Brajabu akere gore ke eng role ya monna ke eng ya moshimane ke eng ke se re tshwanetseng go se dira go fedisa gender based ene batho ba interpreta selo se wrong a go te gender based violence a go te violence ya kgatlhanong le basadi fela ya kare le nna ke na le gender ya ka kere ke ntse ke le monna ene le nna violence yang affecta even ke ba re na le nako enough ke ne ke tlo dira example ka nna maybe ne tlo dira gore banna ba kgone go bua gore ke fitile mo violence e ntseng yang what happens mara ne ke sa itewe ke motho wa mme na sampetse una victimiziwa and is my wife na amsadi ya ga go victimizitswe and omorata after the cancer and everything else life is starting normal tshwanetse gore now we lo share le pailiena yana le ringele itla mona as if ke go man are yana ke nako ya lona bontate gore di comment ene di comment tse di risang ko pele gore na and I'm sure you clearly ntate Chabalala why you gore le ene o rileng a kere mara bo re bala ke ke bua le bona ga ba participate a ke tijere man nkarabeng a ke bua le misane le nna maybe dilo tsa di sutile tsone ke follow le nna ke saka le nna ke a saka all right I'm sure you utlwala. I agree now I was born before technology. Ano. Ke tsama ke tswala sensor ra ke sa bone re ke tswala sensor ngare ke tshore stock sheet. Kanti ke a senya. Senya mo ka le so borra a re buisane man. Lona le utlwile ka ditsebe tse pedi ya kere. Maybe problem e gore ga gona di abuser mo gare ga rona mo man. Marla di itse ya kere. Yan wali di dimetse. La batsaba. Ba pimpe. Wa go abuse. Are pimpeng di abuse. Mar before because gona no ga rena chance go ba pimpa. O tla ba pimpa mo spiring o le one. Are buisane gore ke eng se re ka se dirang re le borre gore re stope violence e kana against women and children. Mari not only bao rakaretse yeah kyo one tla ke o batla go bua o
Baholo kopa ha o batla go bua wa tumeleha so se sa disconnect ra khakala so o batlang go bua go ke le tsogela mic
kwa rona inyane too much and re startile late so re kopa re ga o tla go bua ene straight to the point ka pelenyana re batla go tsa di point tse di botlhokwa tse di tlo re thusang go dira program e re tlo berekang ka yone go fedisa a ke re ga re se tlhole re lwantsha violence ra e fedisa so di points tse le tlang ka tsone tseo di botlhokwa o e bue ka leleme la gago se ka tshaba mara ha o batla go thoma le teng go siame ba teng ba batla interpretang gore no reng a ka ba golo
a ge ba golo ba golo tota nna go bua nnete ga se ke utlwisitswe ke mme wa go ga ka botlhoko mara tse ke di bonang di thusa botlhoko mo mabapi le mo ke agileng teng tota e be ke be inkutsise botlhoko ba nna ke dula go bodibe ra di bona dilo tsena ebile le bojabu ra di lwantsha gore dilo tse di seke di a nna teng mara se re se tlhokang ne re tlhoka support ya borre gore borre re go ruta borre thata ne ke lela ka bana ba bashimane ba rena le bone ba a re ka ithuta gore ko dikolong re ye ko dikolong re le borre re go ruta bana ba rona gore tsamaiso ya borre ya go ikemela re le borre re tshwantse re ikemele yang gobane ha o ka sheba thata rona re sokodiswa ke bana ba bashimane gobane gone yana bomme ba abusiwa ka gore bana ba bashimane ba ya lebonotsong ha ba lebonotsong ga ba bolele bagolo ene ano ha ba tswa ko bana ba bangwe ba tswa ditlhogo tsa bone di le mogote ba tswa ba sa tlhole ba itse gore mme ke mang ntate ke mang yan re na le bothata boo yan ha o ka change-iwa taba e ya go ya ko lebonotsong ya nna le borre ba ba e laolang ba ba le gore ba ba tona ba ba itse molao go ka nna botoka ga iwa dikolong borre ba eteletseng pele ba ye ko dikolong nako ba kope di-class gore go dula le bana ba bashimane ba rutiwe ke se se ka tlisang boselo botoka tanke ke a leboga pa
tla ke leboge dibuši ga ke tlo go dirisa le diteme tse dintsi ba gaetso mare ke motho o mongwe ga o ka nkela tlhoko I'm not educated ga ke rate go ya London thata ka ntlha gore batho ba ya London ba na le bothata go ya London le batho ba le bararo bontsi bo sala mo ga mangwato ke se ntse re bua ka sone mole re o lontse a ile London ga molato leleme la rona ga le tlhaloganya Setswana is very important. It's the first priority mo South Africa. Ha o bua ka Motswana o bua ka motho. Amen, hallelujah. Ha ke re rona ga o motho. Ramoradisiwe ke rata gore re tsele ko la Genesis 2 verse 18. Ga ise motho a ilang a bona ele keletso. Ke modimo na bona gore monna ga tshwanela go dula le nosi ke tla mo direla mothuso mo tshwanetseng. Ga ke batla dilo tsa bo tsa di culture ba gaetsho ga gona culture go ga modimo ke kopa le ntshwareleng tota mo lebakeng le modimo ke na bona gore motho ga tshwanela go dula a le nosi o tla mo direla mothusi o e seng bathusi ba mo tshwanetseng. Motho wa ntlha go ya ko seeta ke Adam. Modimo ba mo kukunela Genesis 2:18. A ba ya go dikgopong tsa ga montshetsa legopa ba mo direla molekane seng ba le
1.
Yes. Ha o tla ka balekane seo ke boaka. Ke kopa ile re mo se culture ya go nyala basadi ba le 20. It's up to you. Ha e bila ke accommodate. Ya me temana 24 ya teng. Ngwana wa monna tla tlogela mmagwe le rragwe. A kgomarela mosadi wa gagwe e seng basadi ba gagwe. Mosadi wa gagwe e nna nama ile nosi. E se nna dinama. Ke kopa re ba ka nyeteng fela fo. Pele ke tsena pele mo issue ya gago re ya gago ena re mo radisi. Bakolose 3:18. Lona basadi ikokobeletse banna ba ileng ba lona. Lona banna verse 19. Ratang basadi. Ke fetsa go ka re la bua ka lerato is very important. Ha ga lebela lerato sentle. Ke nkile ka utlwa monna mongwe wa mo African re agie feser ga ke itse re a gona le ba dutse desk sentle. Ne ke le mo ba iso ke mo ka bo 1970s mo. Agie feser ona a bua puo e nngwe a re ba botsa potso ba re ba dirisa thata go dikerekeng tsa bo NG kwa. Ba re lerato ke eng? That is lived. Maar hy tlhalosa sentle a re lived is the fundament waarop hy wil gebou word. Tla ke ko London ka ntse gore bangwe ba setse mo ga mmangwato. Love is the foundation where we build a faithful marriage. Lerato ke motheo mo lenyalo la giwang teng. Re tla mo abuse nyano. O tla mpotsa potso gong ga go ya half time. No e siame nako. Ha re tla mo di abusing. Ga gona monna wa abuswang. Borre ke bana ba bisa bontate borre ke bana ba bisa bo methata ka ntla gore boaka botla ka mang ka ntate. I'm a truck driver for over 24 years. I know very well what has going on mo tseleng. Neo le ga itlisa go di lorry o tlisitswe ke Zaxi Bricks le Razor. Bricks mo na ngwana a ba mo tlogela ka ene a ba kopana le Razor ba bolela Razor ka Bricks ba mo re ke tla go tsaya le ngwana yo a ba mona o be panale ha ba le bararo stress depression mo sa go di lorry ha ke gore ke le buela bo mme ke fela nako ga io ne ke batla go le alela so se sentle le se bone sentle
Ra lebo.
ya no ka ntlha nako le gore borre ba o ka re ga ba tla ka dilo tse di siame man.
Ra lebo. Maafrika dumelang. Nna ke rata re utlwella ke fantse maema ke tswa go letlhakeng go recordiwa le tona dumelang Maafrika ke fantse maema ke tswa go letlhakeng go Rustenburg ba bitsa go Rustenburg rona go Rustenburg la mpona ke mokhutswana ha ke mokhutswana fela ke monyane ke na 35 years ke bua le borre ba bangwe le bo abuti ba bangwe ba go khabara okay fa yeah ke timela le go lebella le bagolo ba rona bagolo ke ngwana ko le tlhakeng ga re bua re le bashimane nna ka tsuba ke tsuba kwae ke no beala ke DJ mara ke ha ke letse o pephoso ga ke letse phoso le nna ke tlo khalema mo bealeng rona ga re bua re botlo go avota di tse dintsi re ntse re monna o etsang re fela monna bua monna emella ha o lo ipitla ko morago e be re letsa one go ntshiwa di stats tse di very high o bore ile go no bua gore lona ra abusiwa ra abusetsa gore ga re bereki tla yang re tlo kopana le banna ba bangwe re bona gore re strategize yang puso na le department tse dintsi if issue ke unemployment re khono dila ka yona nna go ke leng go teng ka ambassador wa HIV and AIDS ke activist ke rea HIV and AIDS ga ile go ntsha mo relationshiping ya go make sure gore partner ga go e tlhaloganye a sa tsolo mo wena gore no nna ke negative wena positive but ba teng mo relationshiping ba phela sebaka ba ntse bana le bana I've seen them monna rona re tlo bua tse dintsi mo Lichtenburg re re monna bua simple monna emella ha go lo botsa dipotso ke nana re leng kutlwi
ke batla go tsenya speaker se seng, but it's fine. Move, and then from there there's another presenter.
Okay, greetings to everyone. Okay, that side, this side. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. My name is Nwpg. I'm from Mpumalanga, but I reside now here in Northwest in a place called Zeerust. So my question is this, is that I've heard some speakers touching on the churches and some are touching on the traditions, which I believe that those structures are the one that informs the behavior of the people in the communities. Hence, sometimes some of the things that other people are doing, they see it as a cultural approach, but they don't see it as a...
Just hold on a bit, just a little bit.
Okay.
So, the floor for many people to speak.
Okay.
Mare, we cannot keep you here for the whole day. Now we want to cut the program somehow, not to cut, but to just save time.
Okay.
Now what we are going to do, refile number 4 obuang. My intention was that after Yena, refer another presenter, then for new others from the floor, 4 until we end the program. Mara, we are not going to limit you. What should you talk about? From all the speakers or presenters presenting. But for now, allow me to please ask Ntator Adule Samuel Mopilimu. Then after this gentleman, then we give another presenter to do his part. It will refer the floor to continue. Thank you very much. You may proceed.
Okay. And as I was saying, so my question is, what is the best strategy to approach, a best strategy of approach when it comes to these traditions and churches which are not regulated, meaning that they are allowed to do whatever that they want to do at their space without any regulation? So what is the best approach into bringing them into the party in assisting with this increasing this debt that is skyrocketing of GBV? What is the best approach towards these people who are not regulated? Because they promote their culture, they promote their culture also in the religious space, and of which the people that attend those institutions, their behavior, they see it as normal. It is their reality. And if they still hold that as their reality, then you cannot change them unless you change the people that informs them. So my question is, what is the best approach? Should we regulate the churches? Should we regulate the traditions in order to limit the stats that are going up of GBV? That's my question.
Difficult question. I have no answer. I want to believe that the answer will come out of the audience. Sorry? I can expect to hear voice. I abuse. So, revenge chance nyana yo fela, le retse fela. Ra utlwana ke. Now, ne re tshwanetse gore e be re na le Ntate Bishop Matebesi. A tlo bua ka yona eo e amana le question e fetsang go botswa ya dikereke. But isn't dikereke gore religion, tumelo ya rona, tumelo le banna. So na tshwanetse a tlo go bua ka yona ka bomadimabe. Re ka se buelle ha re itse gore na tswere eng o emetse mokgatlo o itseng, so we can't speak on his behalf. So now that ha ayo re tlo kopa o latelang after yena. Ke ntate Eddie Mafaza.
Thank you so much, Program Director. Fellow speakers, let me I must also declare or Chivenda. So Anga Chivenda Molika Sing Kwehawoods. Mara Program Director to Sauri. Ahono Shalusetsa. What I will be trying to say. Program Director, let me first thank all of the organizers, the Department of Women, for inviting the CRL Rights Commission. Commission Promotion and Protection ya Tilota Sicho, Udumedi, and languages. Remola Constitution ya Republic ya Rona, Rnalim Meroko over Filen Uri Rudire Moschabe. Omune ki o ki oblelanka wona today. Riobulela Kadilosa Sicho lead the issues of gender-based violence. Warhupi Leba Department or Rebulele on a topic, Yauri, the influence of culture where men find themselves being perpetrators of gender-based violence.
Mr. Mafaza, just I'm sorry to interrupt you, my father. Sorry, I can I rather say, le running fast, then he can proceed. Because they're now making noise, they can't hear this important part. Can you just sit a bit? Let us allow them to distribute water so that they can pay attention to what you say. Thank you. I'm sorry for doing this to you. I didn't know about this distribution. It's disturbing. Can't do I how receive a mate you rasa? Was I say fairly smart? Awan. Hey, it's disturbing, eh? It is disturbing. It's got a 6-pack one bottle. Afete. Ana next, give me a tifela, ne? Ana, levakale, why? Osalan to Luena Bella, I don't need tipsy, next. Nakoyarisia. Kopalefete. Are we done, committee? No, I can't answer the TV. But I said, then after you very good. You are a presenter a face, and by the state. Let me talk about half it. Number one. Hello? Right, Tiger, can we proceed now? Thank you very much. Can we then have a silence? Remamele. Haibo. Bomme, ke utlwa di-voice tsa lona. And ke nagana gore bomme ga bayo. Mara ke utlwa di-voice. Mr. Mafaza, I'm sorry for having done this to you, sir. May you please take the floor.
Okay, thanks again, Program Director. So I was saying the department has requested us to speak on a topic that says the influence of culture where men find themselves being perpetrators of gender-based violence. So if you translate or you interpret this topic literally, one may say men using cultural practices to perpetuate gender-based violence. Let me hasten to state that as a constitutional democracy, the respect of rights of citizens, women and children is non-negotiable. The respect of cultural practices for different communities is equally promoted and protected by the Constitution of the Republic. In actual fact, the protection and promotion started long time ago, even before our constitutional democracy. The Freedom Charter says all people shall have equal right to use their own languages and to develop their own folk culture and customs. It goes on to say that the aim of education shall be to teach the youth to love their people and their culture, to honor human brotherhood, liberty, and peace. The Constitution guarantees cultural, religious, and linguistic rights of all communities, although they may not be exercised in a manner inconsistent with any provision of the Bill of Rights. Now, the dawn of the new dispensation in South Africa was therefore understood by most of us as meaning that we will also embrace that which had been disintegrated by apartheid. That is our cultural, religious, and linguistic rights. At the same time, embracing the right to life, right to human dignity, respect for women and children is at the center of building a cohesive society.
I don't have a problem with that.
Having said that, we cannot ignore the distortion of some cultural practices that are taking advantage of to perpetuate gender-based violence on women and children, including the LGBTIQ communities. These stereotypes perpetuating constant oppression of women and children do not have a place in our constitutional democracy, despite of who promote and protect them, as long as they are aimed at hurting the well-being of women and our children. Perhaps it would be ideal for me to refer to some scholars on this matter, such as Kim and Motsei, who reflect that, and I quote, "There are perceived cultural values and norms that are said to condone and reinforce abusive practices against women. We know and understand that culture is dynamic, not static, but patriarchal men are convinced that culture does not alter when times changed. Instead, they cling to the old ways of what it means to be a man in order to protect their masculinity. Such men fail to engage in issues of gender equality because of their convictions that women are inferior and that men are superior, and the superiority of men was ordained by God, therefore should not be challenged. The foregoing view is also supported by Cornell when the scholar opines that the way that some men view their masculinity, and I would even say the way they view their power over women and children, not only means that they view themselves as the heads of their families, but also extends to the workplace, because men have indeed dominated the marketplace for centuries. It is through this negative portrayal of women that also mask and even undermine the power that women can exercise to control their lives and resist violence and abuse. Let us now confront it. Marriage is regarded highly in an African culture, not only by women and men, but also by the living dead. This argument was confirmed by a very famous scholar, Mbiti, when he said, marriage then is a religious responsibility to everyone. It forms the focal point where departed, present, and coming members of society meet. It is the point of hope and expectation for the unmarried and their relatives once it has been reached and procreation takes place. It is clear from the above citation that marriage is an integral part of culture. As much as marriage is an important institution in an African culture in general, it becomes a contentious subject if it is used to promote the domination of men over women. It raises one's eyebrows when it creates an impression that women cannot afford to succeed on their own without being rescued by men. Still on marriage, some cultural stereotypes where a woman is deemed a minor or not part of negotiations for her marriage prospects is also problematic. That is why the practice of ukutwala is so tainted that other groupings in our society are beginning to think it has become irrelevant. This is because of the perceived absence of a woman's voice in the whole process of ukutwala as a form of marriage. Some men think that a woman should be forced to this marriage. No. The real original practice of ukutwala projects that it is a marriage between the two adults who actually would first agree between themselves that they should undergo the process to mitigate for either some lobola challenges and other related matters between their two families as a way to overcome obstacles that hinder the two to get married. Anything outside such parameters, anything outside the consent of the two, anything else perpetuating gender-based violence in the context must be reported to the police, and the Commission will not protect such kind of abuses. We promote and protect the practice as far as it maintains the dignity and the rights of women and children, and consistent with the Bill of Rights, Chapter 2 of our Constitution. Another cultural stereotype that says a woman must be beaten, that is how you show love to her. No, if there's anyone amongst us today who still believe and practices such, if the South African police services are here, they must arrest that person immediately. This is pure abuse. Men must stand up against these practices and assist in educating the fellow men in communities that such practices or such practice does not have a space in our constitutional democracy. We must remember that all that we do and practice in the name of culture must pass the constitutional muster. Do better things as men to your spouses than beating them, as many of our women and children lost their lives due to such unacceptable behavior from some men. Let me perhaps conclude by referring to the study done by Thomas Brisker. It's a very interesting case study addressing the question, do social and cultural factors perpetuate gender-based violence? And the case study was in Malawi. Gender-based violence, like in South Africa, was found to be existing in Malawi at a level that requests special acknowledgement. A survey was conducted to assess how social and cultural factors affected gender-based violence in Malawi. The study revealed that both men and women are victims of gender-based violence, although women bear the brunt of the practice. Men abuse women through battery, use of abusive language, not providing some requirements and overworking them. Women, on the other hand, abuse men by not giving them food and engaging in extramarital affairs. The study conducted that concluded that there are cultural practices and beliefs that perpetuate gender-based violence, and these include issues of dowry, issues of polygamy, the notion of household head. You know, when people say, it's a status that is being abused a lot in the families. And of course, male mobility and forced marriage. These factors also dominate our minds in South Africa and perpetuate gender-based violence. It is therefore our appeal as the CRL Rights Commission to all men gathered here today to urge us to stand up and educate fellow men that they desist from pursuing cultural practices and stereotypes that perpetuate gender-based violence on women and children. They should understand that the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa embraces all genders to equally coexist in our society or communities. And whosoever acts contrary to the spirit and the expectations of the Constitution in the context should be reported to the police as a deterrent to end the continuous abuse of women and children in our country. Thank you so much, Program Director.
Thank you, Kalebo. There are this announcement, or two announcements. Number one, Bontate, Kikopa Rukwane, Arukwan, Borra, Komara Hoku. Announcement Kitsi. Number one, Renzero Kuala Baba Rasa and Harato Bafa SIP. Okay. Repose our program for a little bit. Reason now, please, udule modu tintengo skatwa. Hona le batho ba batla distributor dijo. Batla ditlisa. Oskadi latella. And a sub-fellow. Naki khola ki itse gotwe ha o ja a o bue ke batla o bona hore na ka nako e re jang ka yona a go tla nna le ras, and I expect silence because you can't talk and eat. So please just be patient. Batla di distributor dijo ha ba fetsa, we now engage mo di presentation tse di setseng di editswe, and then allow another presentation again. Thank you.